What is going on, guys? With the Stealth back here once again with a video on Call of Duty Ghosts, and it still feels good to be playing a brand new game. I thought it was going to kind of wear off after day one, but it's day two, still going strong. I don't want to speak too soon, obviously, since it is only day two, but it feels good to actually want to come home and play the game, have a very strong urge to play because it's something new and something to learn. But I'm going to take today to kind of talk about my early general thoughts on the game, but I've actually had a lot of esports thoughts on my mind and how this game's going to work for esports. Before I get into that, Blitz, if you guys have not played it yet, it's actually a pretty fun game mode. It's sort of similar to Capture the Flag in a way, except you don't have to run the flag back. So each team has their own sort of home zone, pretty close to their spawn, and your objective here, I don't know why I said objective, that was odd, but your objective here is to get to their base and jump into their portal, I'll call it, because I think that's the official name I've seen like on menu tips and stuff like that within the game. Into their portal, and then you're teleported back to your home base, and there's a 10-second cooldown timer, so your teammates can't just jump in it right after. You can't stack up 4 or 5 people and have them run through the portal. That would look kind of funny and be kind of unfair because the game goes to 8 each side. You play 2 sides, so it's a total of 16 points, and if you outslay them, you can get 4 or 5 in easy, and that would just not make for a good game mode. But it is fun overall. So competitive play, I've got a lot to say about this, and some will kind of involve general thoughts. I'll try not to as much as possible because I did want to keep it a separate video. But first of all, how fast the gun kills, the obvious. This game is probably the fastest killing Call of Duty I have ever played, and I've started playing it in MW2. So this is the fastest killing, I think, even in the series. I don't know, I haven't played earlier games. Well, I played COD 4, so just not on launch. So I think this is definitely the fastest killing game there is out there, which kind of brings down the skill level a bit, in my opinion. I mean, it's more of a game of who sees who first and who can get behind who and spawns than it is who has the better gun skill, which I think should be the focus of esports, and I think was the focus during Black Ops 2. With that said, I don't want to spend too much time on that. I want to kind of branch off for a second and talk about MLG. And this isn't by any means downing MLG. I don't want to devalue what they've done for the whole entire competitive community, but it's kind of apparent that this game, picking it up on the circuit, making it the exclusive FPS, I think it was the term that was used on the circuit, was kind of there was some money exchanging hands, which is kind of what I was fearing when the announcement was first made. I was kind of preparing for that. So that kind of sucks because it's pretty obvious that this game is not made for competitive as of right now. It's not ready at all, not even close. It is a good game overall for pubs, but for competitive it just wouldn't work for a lot of reasons, which I'll get into in a second. But it's pretty obvious that MLG kind of made a money grab, which, good for them. Good that they can make money and have more money to fund things. But it's the game right now, I really hope that turns out to be a good decision, and it wasn't a bad decision to pick up Ghost for the circuit and make it the exclusive FPS on there. And we're playing a bad game for the next year. So I kind of went into how quickly you die. I think maybe a health increase could be needed for that, for competitive. Maybe even I would prefer it for pubs, but I don't know if they're going to do that or not. I'm not sure how supportive they're going to be because so far they're proving to be pretty unsupportive. So I don't know how that's going to go. They might up it. SMGs are also pretty much not even viable. There's no reason to use an SMG over an AR because an AR will most of the time outgun an SMG, and that's not how it was in Black Ops 2. I mean, if you had an M8 or even like an AN, and you were at a disadvantaged close range with someone with a Scorpion or an MSMC, so that kind of sucks that it's kind of going back to an AR game. Black Ops 1 kind of had that issue with the AK-74U and the FAMAS. That was pretty much the only 2 guns you saw in competitive. There's still a good amount of guns you can use, but it's sort of limited to one tier, the AR class. There's no LAN lobby support as of right now. You still have to do kind of the old-fashioned way where the host will start the game and everyone else that's playing the game has to join up. And I go off right there. I completely went off. I don't know how many kills I got, but I got my Maniac, and you'll see me called in and not know what I'm doing. It's the first one I've gotten, and completely called in and not even realize there was a second round, to be honest. So yeah, back on track here. There's not even a LAN lobby. The host would have to start the game, and then the players would have to join in later after the game's already started off of sort of joining session. So that's a very, very basic feature that I think a lot of people sort of overlooked in Black Ops 2, maybe kind of took for granted, that we don't even have in Ghost. I almost said MW3, but in Ghost right now. So that's kind of crappy. Another huge thing for competitive is game modes, because we are lacking game modes right now. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what people are going to play for game modes, because currently we do have search and destroy. It's not in publics, which kind of not in public matches, which kind of it's kind of sad, because during Black Ops 2 I really became a fan of search. I started to get better at search, especially in league play. I became a huge fan of search and destroy, and I was ready to turn up. Like, it made me excited to be able to turn up in search and destroy and get those 18, 20 kill matches. It was a lot of fun, and this game doesn't have that, at least in public matches so far. Not sure if it's in squads. I haven't played squads yet. Someone, if you guys have played squads, let me know in the comments below. If search and destroy, not search and rescue. If search and destroy is a game mode in squads, I'm not 100% sure. I know it's in private matches. So right now, that makes the only two viable game modes very, very similar to each other: search and destroy and search and rescue. And they're basically the same thing, besides, in search and rescue, you can pick up your teammate's tag, and you have to confirm the enemy's tag after you kill them to actually kill them for the round. So those are two game modes that are very similar to each other. People have always said, play TDM as a competitive game mode. That's not going to be any fun to watch pros kill each other. It's going to be very, very boring, and I don't think it would work as a competitive game mode. The next one a lot of people are sort of trying out for competitive is Domination. Domination was played during Black Ops 1. I'm not sure about MW3, if any teams sort of played Domination and it was considered a competitive game mode. I didn't really pay too much attention to Modern Warfare 3. I wasn't a fan of the game. But Domination in this game, I've watched some pros play some 8s, and it is the most boring thing to watch ever. It is literally who gets map control first. Maybe that first 30 seconds is exciting and fun, but it just drops off right there really quickly. You have teams sort of posting up, watching flags, and if the other team tries to make a move without outslaying them, they're dead. I mean, they're going to post up and watch the flags. It's not a fun game mode to watch. It's not an exciting game mode to watch. We were really spoiled in Black Ops 2 with Hardpoint. And Hardpoint was such an awesome competitive game mode. It had so much thought behind it, between, being who's anchoring, how many seconds you need to win. You were kind of calculating. You have to get spawns with the anchor. I mean, there was just so much thought that went into Hardpoint. And, whenever you're going to rotate, you're going to rotate at 30, you're going to rotate at 20. Streaks came into play. There was so much thought that went into that game mode. And it was a lot of fun to watch, and sometimes fun to play. I won't say all the time, because sometimes I was really annoyed with Hardpoint. But probably because I didn't know how to play it completely right. There was a lot of thought that went into Hardpoint, and we're missing a lot of staples to this. I mean, we have Search and Destroy, but we're missing both CTF and Hardpoint, obviously, which I think probably saved, a lot of people have said this, probably saved Black Ops 2 as far as competitive, or at least helped it, for sure helped it. Developer support also definitely helped it, which so far we don't have. So I'm kind of interested to see what game modes are played. Blitz was kind of considered, but I think Blitz is... Blitz... Because there's so many different ways Blitz could go. You could say team sit 2 back and have 2 rush the Blitz zone or the portal or whatever, and then, the next time all 4 push. It's such a game mode that can be changed, and as long as all 4 push and get their 4 kills, you're going to get a point on the board. Which in CTF, that's not true. If you all push and get one person out with a flag, he's going to be screwed on his way back. So Blitz probably wouldn't work for competitive. The last thing I'm going to touch on here really quickly before this gameplay ends is maps. There's not a ton of maps. There are a couple. Octane, I think, is a pretty good map. I think that's the one I played on for my Crank gameplay. And Freight looks like an okay map, maybe. I don't know. I haven't had fun playing it, but I think it would be an okay competitive map. And I'm not really 100% sure on a lot of the maps, but I know something like the Stone, I'm not sure if it's called, I don't think it's called Stonehenge, Stone Wall maybe? That would not work for competitive, I don't think. It's way too big, and there's a lot of big maps in this game that probably wouldn't work for competitive, and that's just that. I mean, so that's pretty much my thoughts on competitive. I hope they make some patches to change some of these things and add some of these features in, at least the necessities right now. I mean, CODcaster isn't a necessity. LAN lobbies kind of are, and I hope they add stuff like that in. So closing up this video really quickly, I kind of went over the time I wanted to talk, but I went 32-6, not too bad from first game here on Blitz. If you guys did enjoy the video, please leave a like. I would really appreciate it, and I would also like to hear you guys' feedback in the comments below if you guys are familiar with esports, or even just your general thoughts on the game. I'll have a video coming out pretty soon about my just general thoughts on the game, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have an awesome day.